Here we are live, Playboy, playing with the house money, on front row, in your face, big bag bets. Yeah, shit, it's going motherfucking down over here. If you want to cash a ticket, this where you need to be, live and in living color. Dixie Parlay Fair, live from playing with the house money, where we have done so much with so little for so long that it seems we can do anything with nothing at all in no time flat. Now, let's get to the money. Welcome to another Friday edition of Playing with the House Money, Week 2 College Football Predictions 2025. We'll be giving you an analysis on the side, the total, and the prediction on all games available. We'll be starting out with the Friday slate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment whether you agree or disagree. We want to hear from you, your likes and dislikes. Let's get right to this shit, man.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Isn't that why you're here?
First up, Louisville minus 13 and a 1-2 hours against JMU with a total of 57. Both of these teams played last week. Louisville defeated Eastern Kentucky 51-17. They didn't cover the 38, but went over the total of 56 and a 1-2. JMU defeated Weber State 51-10. They did cover the spread of 26 and a 1-2 and it went over the total of 54 and a 1-2. Louisville did return 16 starters with QB Miller Moss still at the helm. Against East Kentucky, Louisville had to combine 542 yards of offense. Moss was 17-25 for 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and they rushed for 229 yards with Isaac Brown leading away with 6 rushes for 126 yards. His long was 68 yards. Louisville was 4-2 at home last year. Their losses were to SMU and Miami SMU, 2 really good teams. JMU brought back 10 starters from a 9-4 campaign last year. They're led by quarterback Alonzo Barnett. He was efficient last week against Weber State, 14 of 22 for 130 yards. They actually did all their damage on the ground, where they had 44 rushes for 313 yards. Well, something has to give, and I don't like the fact that last year James Madison was 3-3 away from home with wins against bottom feeders, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Old Dominion. I think Louisville has the advantage in the trenches and also in the talent level. Their defense should be able to shut down the rushing attack of JMU. I know the spread is 2 touchdowns, but I love Louisville in the spot. Give me Louisville. Louisville 35, JMU 17. Next up on his bet chart, we have 2 teams who won their first games also. Maryland, 17 and a 1-2 against Northern Illinois with a total of 47. Maryland didn't have a good season last year. They stumbled to a 4-8 record and didn't make it to a bowl game. Coach Mike Locksley is really on the hot seat, I would think. He brings back 10 starters, 6 on offense for defense. Interestingly enough, as he has done in the past, with Juice Williams, Jalen Hurts, and Tua Tagovailoa, he again starts a freshman quarterback in Malik Washington. Maryland came out of the gate with a convincing win against FAU, 39-7, where they covered the spread of 14 and a 1-2 and kept it under the total of 61. FAU scored once in the first quarter, and that was it. Although the totals were comparable, Maryland had 380, FAU had 344. The difference was Malik Washington going 27-43 for 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Remember, he's a big quarterback, 6'4" with speed. The defense had 6 turnovers, all interceptions. Northern Illinois played lowly Holy Cross. They were 13 and a 1-2 point favorite with a total of 49, and the game stayed well under the total, and they did not cover. Northern Illinois won 19-17. Northern Illinois only returns 5 starters, 2 on offense and 3 on defense. Not a good recipe when trying to break in a new quarterback in Josh Holst. Holst was 12 of 18 for 101 yards and 1 interception, although NIU did rush for 178 yards, which won't be enough this week. Last year, Northern Illinois had the 9th best defense in the FBS. I just don't think with 3 starters back they can maintain the same. I'm doubling down on another favorite. Give me Maryland to cover the 17 and a 1-2 and the total to go under the 47. Maryland 31, Northern Illinois 14. Looks like we got a little bonus action here with a FBS-FCS matchup in Northwestern 27 and a 1-2 against West Illinois with a total of 51 and a 1-2. Northwestern was not a factor the last year in the Big Ten, going 4-8. They do bring back 15 starters, 7 on offense, 8 on defense, and through the portal they brought in former SMU quarterback Preston Stone, who in 2023 passed for 3,100 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So was the post to have some kind of possess evidently last week that didn't pan out because Stone only threw 161 measly yards against 4 interceptions, and the rushing attack was nowhere to be found either because they only rushed for 76 yards in total. The offense didn't pass 200 yards against Tulane. They were trumped 21-3. Now you would think with Stone and the fact that he has success in the FBS made it would have got up on the better foot, but that's not the case. So this week, Northwestern is going to take the growing pains out on Western Illinois. Quarterback Chris Irwin, who didn't show up at all last week, which doesn't surprise me. They were kindly kicked to sleep by Illinois 52-3. We don't have to really go into much of an analysis because they are not a formidable foe. I expect Northwestern to cover this number and we stay under the total, just barely. Northwest 41, W Illinois 10. Last but not least, we'll be looking at Boise State 28 and a 1-2 against Eastern Washington with a total of 55 and a 1-2. Boise State enters this game totally dejected and demoralized after going cross-country and getting drugged by 24 by underdog South Florida. Boise State entered the season with high hopes after a 12-2 campaign last year, led by Ashton Jeanty, one of the most prolific running backs in FBS history. They returned 14 starters, 7 on offense, 7 on defense, led by a pretty good quarterback in Maddox Madsen, who last year passed for 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, but that just wasn't the case last week. They could get nothing done in South Florida. They have a good stable running backs led by Sire Gaines, which should produce a lot of offense, except they fell flat on their face. Maddox didn't throw any interceptions, but he was just very inefficient, going 25 of 46 for 225 yards and a touchdown. Boise State only scored 1 touchdown after averaging 37 points a game last year. That touchdown was in the first quarter. They didn't do any good running the ball either, only gaining 122 yards on 38 carries. That's just not a recipe for a winning team. Hopefully this week, they'll get back on track and punish Eastern Washington for what happened to them last week, the way I see it. Boise State 51, Eastern Washington 21. That's all we have for a Friday slate. Don't forget, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you. See you at the window. Before we go, Playing with the House Money gives you a 4-team lockbox parlay. See you at the window.